Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is lecture 12, security in networks. Okay, supposed to be after our lecture 4, before usability. But I just follow the sequence. But here it's supposed to be before lecture 13. But I need to finalize this networks issues before we move to operating system and databases. Okay, networks. I think we have learned in our previous semesters. Okay, there are few concepts, network concepts, threats in network security controls, firewall, IDS, secure email. So for this lecture, we don't have a few things, firewall, IDS. So we just focus other than these 2 points. Okay, basic network, I think we have done in CCN. Okay, so normally between those 2 points, once we have Alice and Bob, we can have any medium. It's a wireless medium, it's a wired medium. Okay, sometimes we have microwave, infrared, Bluetooth, satellite. So this microwave is normally normally it's on backhaul, starting from PSTN till the base station. There is a waveguide. So that waveguide, if you visualize, there is a base station. Inside base station, there is a black color wire. Okay, that's not basically a wire; it's a waveguide. There's nothing inside, but it's a microwave 2.4 gigahertz. Those top high-profile signals, they travel within that black color wire. So we call this waveguide. So infrared, Bluetooth, is all UWB networks, short range networks. Okay, then we have long range satellite. So these are some medium. Normally the attackers we have seen in our previous lectures, there is an insecure channel. So normally attacker try to do cryptanalysis on the medium. Okay, we cannot do. We have seen that viruses or other things we can invade on our devices to do some other cryptanalysis. Okay, so these are the medium. So we have different mode of communication, digital or analog. Then we use some protocol to do any research on any network. Okay, so first we need to know what is the communication protocol. How communication? UWB have different communication protocol, means short range. Okay, then we have for MANET, we have different communication protocol. Cellular, we have different communication protocol. So that is, but very generic, we have TCP, just like if we have a call, anything that required immediate acknowledgement is TCP. UDP, we don't require acknowledgement, is a UDP. We have learned in CCNA. Client and server communication, okay. Then using this model, okay, from here, if I'm using WhatsApp web, I just say hi, how WhatsApp web look like, okay, and then to whom I'm going to send the data, okay, and then there is a socket, okay, how which socket I'm using to exit the data, okay, and then we have a layering, okay, network layer, basically all those buses, okay, those aeroplane, those using routers, they are carrying the data. Okay, so network layer is basically routing. Then we have resource allocation, the road, the link, anything, and then once we just chop the data 101010. Okay, so this how, but we have done that, and just it's a recap. Okay, threats in network. Aims of threat in network is to compromise CIA. We have learned that, and applied against data, software and hardware. Okay, by nature. Accidents, non-malicious human, and malicious attackers. Anything, we have to ensure CIA. Okay. What makes network vulnerable? Okay. Anonymity. Most of the articles nowadays, they require this security requirement to be ensured. Okay, so attacker can mount an attack from thousands of miles away and never come into direct contact with the system. Okay, this is very simple definition, no need further explanation. Okay, many points of attack, both targets and origin, solely depends on the access control mechanism. Okay, TDMA, CDMA may go through rigorous security process. Okay, but due to nature network host with many users can be complicated to control. Sharing. Sometimes we share, we have issues, okay, weaknesses, complexity of system. The more complex, the chances of, the more complex, it's a trade-off. Sometimes we require a less complex system. So we have to make it lightweight security mechanism. So if we have more complex in terms of security, then we have to achieve those complexity at the expense of something. We have to reduce something, maybe reliability or something. So complexity of system is one of the concern. Unknown parameters. Okay, there's wireless network. There's no boundary. Okay, unknown path. If we enter in a network, we don't know. Okay, due to many hosts in the network. Okay. Okay, this all slides are highly literature review. So anybody can, if you people sit down carefully and then read all those documents, it's nothing to explain. So those things, those I need to explain is first few lectures, and then later we have this all literature review. Okay, so who are the attackers? There's no name list. Okay, who the attacker might be, it depends on the method, opportunity, and motive. Okay, so if someone is expert in doing something with blockchain, okay, that is there, and then find the opportunity, must be some intention. So that can be the attacker. Motive of the attackers is so many. It depends on the mentality of the attacker. Sometimes we require election win or whatsoever, fame, money, ideology. So it depends. Okay, what are the prerequisites for the threats? How attacker prepare for attacks, investigate and plan. Okay, reconnaissance. Okay, investigate and plan. These are threat precursors. Prerequisites. If we detect threat precursor, we might be able to block attack before they launch. Just like if I need to bank robbery. So it's very simple. First of all, I have to sit down outside the bank and then see how many guards, what are the timetable, how it open, what are the lock they are using. Okay, but if someone immediately caught me, so I think it's very difficult for me to launch the attack. So these are something. Threats precursors technique include port scanning, okay, social engineering. We have friends on Facebook, etc. Okay, then we plan and investigate. OS and application fingerprinting, using bulletin boards and chats. Yeah, there are so many things. This is just a few list down. Attacking our computer system. Okay, two categories: attack on specific software and attack on specific protocol. Okay, so there's few of us, they are expert in penetration tests, etc. Attack on specific software. And then this is my expert area: attack on specific protocol or services. Okay, so this is my expert area. Two types of target of opportunity. We don't know, but suddenly we enter the network and then we found, oh, there is a weaknesses. We just invade using that weaknesses. That's the opportunity. Or sometimes I know what I have to do, so then this type of attack. Denial of service, we have done that. Okay, attacker is attempting to deny authorized user access either to specific information or to the computer system or network. So these are some literature review definition. Okay, backdoor and trapdoors method used by software developers to ensure that they could gain access to an application even if something were to happen in the future to prevent normal access method. Like if someone, any contractor, they design a very secure jail that where we kept those prisoners. So sometimes they know the trick. Okay, so if someone enter that jail and how to escape from that jail, so in future, okay, so that is backdoor methods. Okay, in software, sometimes we know if I'm just like CME Bank, anyone who designed their software, he know how to, at the end of the day, if he need to do something, he can do that. And backdoor. Trapdoor, also used to refer to program that attackers install after gaining unauthorized access to a system to ensure they can continue to have unrestricted access to the system, even if their initial access method is discovered and blocked. Okay. Sniffing, we have done that. A software or hardware device that is used to observe traffic as it passes through a network on shared broadcast media. Okay, sniffing. Used to view all traffic, specific protocol services, or even a string of characters. Okay. Spoofing, just like email spoof, making data look like it has come from a different source. Email spoofing, where you send a message with a from address different than your own. Okay, IP address spoofing, etc. Man the middle attack. Since we have done that, so I'm reading the slides. It look bored, but just bear with me. Occur when attackers are able to place themselves in the middle of two, as the name indicates, man in the middle attack, to host that communicating in order to view or modify the traffic. Replay attack, an attack where the attacker capture a portion of communication between two parties and retransmit it at a later time. Okay? That's why if we use timestamp, we can mitigate replay attack. Okay, prevention, encryption, cryptographic authentication, and timestamp. Okay, the timestamp is there. TCP/IP hijacking. Okay, other term session hijacking. It's more on once we have client and server communication, refer to the process of taking control of an already existing session between client and server. Generally used against web and telnet services. Attacks on encryption, weak keys. Sometimes we, for password guessing, we have very weak password ABC123 static. So this is very weak passwords. So sometimes we have brute force attacks, exhaustive search of key space, indirect attack, poor random number generator, unprotected key exchange, unprotected key store, buffer over, etc. Indirect attack. Okay. Password guessing, poor password choices, dictionary attack, those attacks, brute force hit and trial attack, birthday attack. So these are the attack. So we can try to have password guessing. We have done that. Okay. Software exploitation, an attack that take an advantage of bugs or weaknesses in software. Okay, we exploit. Sorry, we exploit. Okay, the weaknesses can be the result of poor design, poor testing, or poor coding practices. War dialing and war driving. War dialing is more on modem. War driving, as the name indicates, it's driving through your jalan means lorong or your whatsoever. You just drive, okay, and then see is there any network available. War dialing describe an attacker's attempt to discover unprotected modem connections to computer system and network. War driving refer to the activity where attackers walk through, wander throughout an area, often in a car. Toting it means holding a computer with wireless capabilities. As they search for wireless network, they can access it. So this is how they can plan. Okay, social engineering. Okay, This is an attacker relies on lies and misrepresentation to trick an authorized user into providing information or access that attacker would not normally be entitled to. Facebook, okay, sometimes it's very easy. You can receive again Facebook request from the same friend you have in the friend list. Okay, so because attacker doing all those things. Malware, as the name indicates, it's a negative ware. Okay, malware, malnutrition. Okay, so malicious software, malicious code. Okay, software that has been designed for some negative purpose. Okay, notorious purpose, nefarious purpose. Such software may be designed to cause damage to the system, create a backdoor, etc. The installation is done so that it is not obvious to the authorized user. So malware, we have the list, very few then. Viruses, Trojan horses, logic bomb, worms, mobile code. So these are some negative terms. Viruses, boot sector virus, okay, infect the boot sector portion of either a floppy disk or a hard drive. Okay. Then we have program viruses, attach itself to exe files. Okay. Then we have macro viruses attached to document files. So these are not limited. It's a lot of viruses. It's just example we can visualize. Then we have Trojan horses, a piece of software that appears to do one thing and may in fact actually do that thing. Okay, but that hides some other function. You see, we have Troy movie. Yeah? So they use a big horse and they bring that horse inside the castle because previously they cannot break into the castle. So the function is they just gift the horse because they won the battle. So they say, okay, this horse is for you people. So the purpose is different. It looked like the purpose is something, but purpose is different. Prevention, never run software if you are unsure of its origin. Security and integrity and install virus checking program. So this is one of, we have to, because this is, sometimes we click, then we install those things. Logic bombs, a piece of code that sits idle for a specific period of time until some event invokes the movie name specialist. Okay, so okay, then we have logic bomb triggered by event. Okay, time bomb triggered by specific time or data. So this is some sort of softwares. Okay, worms, piece of code that attempt to penetrate networks and computer system and then create a new copy of itself. Okay, so this is normally bomb, survive on its own. Mobile code, as the name is mobile, it's moving from one device to another device. Segment of code sent from another host that is executed on your system. Example, our applets, all those applets. Okay. Threats, these are disclosure of information and modification or damage of information. So these are the threats from mobile code. Okay, then we have email, most popular application on the internet and intra-company network. Okay, need to have security. Yeah? So security issues, malicious codes, viruses, Trojan horse, worm, etc. come through email. Okay. Email tricks, mostly a nuisance, but cost time, internet, even spoofing, email spoofing, all those things. Sometimes we receive chain letters, okay, our lottery, okay. Sometimes we receive unwanted commercial emails. Okay, then we have mail encryption. We have two different methods. This SMIME or MIME, and then we have PGP. Okay, so secure first multi-purpose internet email extension or secure multi-purpose internet mail extension. It's a secure implementation of MIME. If we use S, MIME handles audio files, images, applications, and multi-part emails. Okay. Email attachments are sent using, if you receive any attachment, we check that there's no viruses, etc. This S or MIME takes this content and specifies a framework for encrypting the message as a MIME attachment. Okay, this is done by our SA data security developer. Uses X.50 format for certificate. During my PhD, I designed this one for WiMAX in Malaysia. Supports both 40-bit RC2 and 3DEs for symmetric encryption. No need to think about this. Just support for this algorithms for symmetric encryption. Provides integrity, privacy, and authenticity. Implementation, how it implements. The host email program can import the message with this. The server can act as a processing agent, encrypting all messages between hosts. So host-based operation from the host, we are the host because we are the sender. Starts when user clicks send. The mail agent will encode the message using the generated symmetric key. Okay, so once there is once we encode the message using the key we generate, then we need to send this key to the receiver. Then the symmetric key is encoded with the remote user's public key. Okay, so if I need to send you people the key, so I have to encrypt my key with yours public key. Okay, or any key if we know we shared among us previously. Okay, using both symmetric and asymmetric encryption to increase the speed of encryption and decryption. Rather than we have so many handshake, so we just do this method. Okay. PGP, pretty good privacy. Similar email security implementation to this one, but using completely different protocol. User sends the email and the mail agent applies encryption as specified in the email programming. So the content is encrypted with the generated symmetric key, and the key is encrypted with the public key of the recipient of the email or with the sender's same. Or with the sender's private key. Okay, then we can say they are using PKI. Okay, yeah, it's currently support PKI. Okay, this is we have done that. Okay, email content encryption, PGP supports this algorithm for symmetric encryption. What are the differences? We have PGP, and this PGP stands for pretty good privacy, or this stands for secure multi-purpose internet mail extension. It can be used by individual or corporation. It is used by corporation for or for commercial purpose. PGP is a generic purpose application to protect files and used for email security, specifically. Diffie-Hellman digital signature is used. Algamal is used. Okay. PGP is a data encryption and decryption computer program. It provides the authentication, message integrity, and non-repudiation of origin and data security services. PGP was designed to eliminate security issues for text messages, designed to provide security for attachments and data files. Okay. PGP products are considered costlier as compared with this, and this is cheaper. Web components, anything related to HTTP or HTTPS or anything web-based. Web components describe the protocol used with web components, including this SSL and TLS protocol suites, this LDAP and FTP. Describes and explains secure file transfer options. Explain how directory service can be used to edit. This is just objective. Current web components and concern securing a server that delivers contents to user over the web. Securing the transport of information between the users and servers over the web. Okay. Securing the user's component from attack over a web content. Okay. So these are some components, current web components. So we have different protocols. We have SSL and TLS. Okay. And then we have HTTP and HTTPS. Okay. HTTP plus SSL, we get HTTPS normally. Okay. Web services. Okay. Nowadays we are using TLS, okay, version 3. and then but still most of the server they are using, they are accepting SSL. That's why we can have a drone attack, DROWN, but that's not the answer of this lecture. Then we have web services, directory services, directory access protocol or lightweight directory access protocol. And we have file transfer, okay, FTP, file transfer protocol, and secure file transfer protocol. SSL is a generic purpose protocol developed by Netscape for managing the encryption of information being transmitted over the internet. So anything we are sending over the network, we need to ensure it's encrypted. So SSL. SSL handshake process, a client request for secure connection and the server response. Okay, so this is how it works. Server and client exchange certificates and keys as necessary to enable authentication. Besides encryption, we require authenticity. Authentication established, channel is protected by encryption. Use certificates as a way to have third party act as a notary in the electronic world. Okay, so we have to get the certificate just like VeriSign. Okay, so we have to use that certificate. HTTP and HTTPS is a protocol designed for transfer of hypertext. We can see there's a hand. Okay, that is if we click, we receive some document, right? But that document we receive over the network. Yeah? So that is hypertext link data over the internet from a web server to the browser. Okay, HTTP traffic takes the TCP port 80 by default. When using a SSL or TLS-enabled browser, request of secure connection from a web server can be done by using HTTPS, okay, instead of HTTP. When a browser is this aware, the entry of an SSL and TLS-based protocol will cause the browser to perform necessary negotiation, three-way handshake or whatever with the web server to establish the required level of security. Once this negotiation has been completed and the session is secured by the session key, then a close, we can see on the left-hand side, there's a padlock. We can see here it's displayed. So once we believe that things are just like CIB Bank, initially we send the data. So after some time we see there's a lock, which means that now the communication is secure. Web services and application program accessible using open protocols, those XML, etc., have been defined through industry standardization around series of specification, including XML, schema, and web services description language. Okay. Common method of invoking those web services, just like we fill in the forms or we retrieve those data. Okay. So this web services, simple object access protocol, request over HTTP connection, uses open standard such as XML, HTTP, and this universal description, discovery, and integration UDDI. Okay. Directory services, directory, a data storage mechanism similar to database, but it has several distinct differences designed to provide efficient data retrieval services compared to standard database mechanism. Okay. So this is over network. So we are using other database. Okay. Optimized for data reading, fast search and retrieval. Okay. Store descriptive attributes of data, often static view of the data. That can be changed without any extensive issues. Data is hierarchically described in tree-like structure. Okay. Directory, just like it's there, folder by folder, we click. Common uses, email addresses list, domain server data, and resource map of network resources. Standard X.500 directory is accessed through the directory access protocol, but it's a heavyweight that is difficult to completely implement, especially on PCs and more constrained platform. So we have lightweight this direct access protocol, which is easier and more economical to implement. File transfer, FTP, previously we used in 2002, 2003 during my bachelor. Okay. So a method of transferring files, an application level protocol allowing it to operate over a wide range of lower level protocols. Most implementation are for sending and receiving. Okay, file transfer can be either binary or text mode. Blind FTP, anonymous FTP, as the name indicates, unlimited public access. Okay, but for secure FTP, it's a secure FTP utilize SSH and FTP to offer confidential transfer. Okay, an application program that can code commands and data being passed and require SFTP to be on the client and server. Okay, it's not interoperable with FTP. Okay, so I think this one is a very boring lecture we done for today. Stop the recording. Okay, So I think we finished for today. For those query, I will address in WhatsApp. Okay. For attendance later I will do. Okay, bye bye.